Yeah, it's me. Hi, welcome back to my channel. If you've never been here before, you don't know that I just missed like 4 days of uploads. Anyway, I'm Fat Sajak, and today's drink of choice is literally water with lemon in it. New year, new me. Not even a new year yet. Definitely not a new me yet. Really sorry I missed the last few days of uploads. I've been trying to upload a new video every day until the end of the year. Wow. Girl. But unfortunately Christmas got away from me. This has been, without revealing too much about me, myself, my life, or feigning any sort of semblance of real emotion, I'd like to tell you this has been one of the most stressful Christmas seasons, holiday seasons of my life. Certainly of my adult life, certainly of my life as a parent. So it's been a really, really rough few weeks. So I think I was a little more ambitious, as usual, than I could feasibly deliver on. But since today's the 27th, I feel like I could safely say I'm going to upload a video for the rest of the year now. It's just like 5 more. I could do it. I could do it. Let's see if we could do it, okay? Enough about me. Nobody gives a shit. I hope your holidays are good. I hope they are enjoyable. Mine were actually very enjoyable. It was everything leading up to it that was stressful. So I had a wonderful time. My kids had a wonderful time. I hope you all had a wonderful time. If you celebrate, if you don't, I hope you are just having a wonderful whatever day it is. I don't know. Today is something I want to talk about for a few days, and I haven't had the opportunity to, but apparently the one I barely know anything about, Cody has come back to the internet, and in true YouTuber fashion has graced us with the humble, apologetic sincerity that we were all hoping he would. Actually, that's not true, and we're gonna get into it in a second. Before we do, make sure you are still subscribed to my channel if you want to be here. If you don't already subscribe, I promise we're not really a cult. See? I'm just as fallible as you are. Ooh, that is straight into my tits. See? Who wouldn't want to subscribe? I'm shedding. I'm spilling. I'm a relatable queen. Make sure you're subscribed if you want to be here. Make sure you like the video. Links in the description, ways to support the channel, where to find me on social media, relevant links, irrelevant links, all the hits. You know, there's still links down there to ways to help families in Palestine. There's still links down there to donate to the ACLU, who we're gonna need desperately in the new year. So, you know, it's like a bevy of just information you can just glaze over while you forget what you were already doing on your quest to go do something else. So let's get into it, shall we? Cody is a stupid name. Was canceled some months back. Earlier this year. Was it still this year? Could have been. I don't know. It's been a long one. When Tana Mongeau revealed that they had sex when Tana was underage and Cody was not. And even though Tana sort of downplayed this in a way, and even if she wasn't trying to downplay it, she does kind of come at the subject with more cavalier attitude, which is fine. It's her experience. You know, she doesn't need to show up to the story crying if it wasn't something that was traumatic for her. Because things can certainly be inappropriate that were not necessarily traumatic for someone. And it could be traumatic. It could still be laying low. Who knows? Who knows? I'm not a doctor of psychology. But I could be if I really put my mind to it. It's gone now and I'm all hydrated. Cody was subsequently canceled. He said nothing about this because why would you? Why would you ever just own up to something you did? Why would you ever just own up to it? Why would you ever just say, I did this, that was inappropriate. I've done better going forward. I have yet to have sex with another underage girl, which I don't even know if that's the case. I don't know enough about Cody to know how his behavior has progressed over the years. Because how hard would it have been to reach out to Tana and say, damn, that you're right, this was wild, that was wildly inappropriate. And I really, really regret that. And I'm really sorry. I shouldn't have taken advantage of you when you were underage, and I was not. And then come back to the internet and say, listen, I reached out to Tana privately, we've talked about this, I have extended my apologies. Whether or not she chooses to forgive me, whether or not she feels an apology is necessary, none of that is relevant to the public. I have a lot to say about YouTube apologies in general, and we're gonna watch Cody's video in a second. Well, we're not gonna watch the whole thing. I do wanna make a video about YouTube apologies in general, because I do think, as far as apologies go in practice, in general, apologies are for the person to whom you are apologizing, correct? Because, like, I wouldn't have screwed someone over and then apologize to a room full of people who weren't even there to say that I'm sorry to the person I screwed over, right? That doesn't make any logical sense from any standpoint. If I screwed you over publicly, this information became public because we are both public figures, or at least one of us is a public figure, then I do think that the person, the person being canceled has the right to reach out privately to apologize, because that shows a sincerity and a willingness to not only admit you're wrong, but apologize directly to the person that you've hurt or affected in some way negatively. And then come to the internet, if this was already a public thing, and say, hey, I have reached out to this person privately and apologize. We are settling this behind the scenes. I just want to let you know that that communication's happened. I don't think that's difficult. I mean, I know it's hard to apologize. It's hard to admit when you're wrong. It's hard to take accountability. All of these things are hard to do, especially for a stubborn piece of shit like myself. I think everybody kind of struggles with having to admit that they're wrong, because it's hard to admit when you're wrong. It sucks to admit when you're wrong. It sucks to be wrong. It sucks to admit you're wrong when you don't feel like you were wrong, even if you were objectively wrong. Take a shot of water every time I say wrong. I have a lot of theories and thoughts about YouTuber apologies, and I actually have like a sketch written for it, and I might film it at some point. But I think it's just wild the way that we have reached a point now where when people make big time fuck ups, do big time wrong things, there is no more sitting down and apologizing. It's like,
yo, sorry I did the thing. Anyway, back to my vlogs.
Colleen Ballinger. Truly, there is no more gray hoodie apology, really. There's just sort of like glossing over it, doing a little wink to it, you know, a metaphorical middle finger to your audience, and then you move on, and the diehards follow you, and everyone else filters out. And I just think that it's an interesting formula where the canceled creator is concerned. So, did Cody Co know that Tana was underage? Yes, of course we know this, because Gabby Hanna has said herself, she went to Cody and said, hey bitch, she's not 18 yet. And then he was like, thanks so much, I'm on top of it. And then he went and did it anyway. So I'm pretty sure that we can say, I mean, for legal purposes, probably, I'm not going to say for certain, but it seems very likely that Cody Co knew that Tana was underage. And the way Tana frames it is that Gabby was trying to sell that as well. I don't want to go into the intricacies of that, because that makes a Gabby Hanna video, and I don't have the energy for a Gabby Hanna video this late in the year, okay? Although I will say, she just came up on my Instagram feed, and she does look really happy and healthy, and like she's got a new man, which is probably why we haven't seen her much on the internet. So hopefully that's all good and grand and steady and stable, and she just leaves us all the hell alone in 2025, am I right? So Cody Co uploaded a video the other day, not on his main channel, not on his second channel, but on his measly ass third channel. This whole like dropping your apology or your acknowledgement, I suppose it is, on your second, third, fourth channels, where the least amount of people will see it, the least amount of advertisers will see it, is like a brand new formula working through the system of the content creator, right? We saw, obviously we saw Colleen Ballinger has done it twice now. Both times she's been called out by Adam McIntyre. Well, the first time by Adam McIntyre himself, and then the second time in the era of the toxic gossip train. It's If you are in a scandal, if you are a big creator, if you are any creator and you have a main channel and you are being called out for something major, big, like groundbreaking, like you affected someone else's life in a huge way, detrimental, and you're being publicly called out for this, you respond to it on your main channel. I don't care what your agent says. I don't care what your management says. I don't care if you're not going to look good to advertisers. I don't care. Putting it on your third channel with an 18th of the subscribers of your main channel is the most coward ass move I can think of. Grow up. That's number one. That, first of all, tells me that you don't give a single fuck. Not one was given, not a single one. Because if you cared enough about people thinking that you are either apologetic, taking blame, taking accountability, acknowledging your faults, acknowledging what happened, then it goes where the most people can see it. Because if you're putting it where the least amount of people will see it, and I'm talking like this third channel has like couple 100,000 subscribers, 272,000 subscribers on his third channel, 5.76 million on his main. Cool. And this wasn't even a dedicated video. This was a video about him training for an ultra marathon or something. Nobody cares. My other favorite part about this is that it's not really an apology at all. People are referring to it as an apology video, and I'm sorry. I don't know where you think there's an apology in here. But the nice thing is that the only acknowledgement of these things is in literally the last minute to minute and a half of the video. That's about 25, almost 25 minutes long. So if that's what you were coming to see, it's literally in the last chunk of the video, which means that you have to sit through the entire video. I mean, you don't, because once you know where it is, you can just skip to it. But in theory, if you were raw dog in this video, you have to sit through the whole thing for a minute and a half of nothing. So we won't have a lot to watch here today, so that's nice. But yeah, that tells me that this was less than sincere. Also, I've heard a few people bring up the idea that Cody's posting now to maintain his AdSense for this channel in particular, because you need X amount of watch time and you need to be active on your account within a span of 6 months, or you can have your be removed from the partner program. That's valid. I mean, that's probably true. I've also seen in this formula that is also developing with other creators, and even ones that are not so much canceled as they are just like embroiled in controversy, or like the most prominent creator I can think of that falls into this is Morgan Adams, Ryland's sister. She had her own channel with plenty of subscribers, at least 1 million, I believe. And she did really good. And then after Shane got canceled and Ryland got canceled and that whole thing, and she moved out of LA, she started using her vlog channel only. She doesn't touch the other channel. She only uses the vlog channel. And I think that this is a formula we're seeing too, is that because even though Morgan didn't technically do anything wrong, she was still lumped in with this whole mess because that's her family and there's nothing she can really do about that. It gave her sort of like a safe space to be, right? And I feel like a lot of these cancel creators are doing the same thing, because nothing, like Colleen Ballinger, again, another example, you're not going to see anything on Psycho Soprano, you're not going to see anything on Miranda Sings, it's all on the vlog channel. Same thing with Cody Co, I think, is happening here. This is my theory, is that now we're going to operate off of one of these other channels because it's easier. You know, your diehards are going to come to these channels. People are going to dissect your videos for a hot minute, and then when you leave them a breadcrumb here or there to talk about, and then you just carry on, because that's what we do now. There is no repenting time. There is no actual learning. There's no actual growth. It's just...
Remember when I did the thing? Anyway, subscribe.
Like, fuck off. You're all terrible. Oh God, and I am just a cog in this machine. I'm gonna chew on an ice cube and then we're gonna watch this video. So literally the first like 20 minutes of this video is Cody like talking about running. And then we're closing the video out in the last like minute and a half with the real deep sincerity that we really hoped would show up in a oops, I participated in statutory rape kind of thing, you know? I don't think that's what is involved here, but tell me if you hear anything different.
But I want to vlog it. I want to vlog the whole process just like I did for Iron Man. You know, being creative, doing this type of thing and putting it out there, it's just in my DNA. I need to do it, and so I'm gonna do it. Obviously, I understand I've been offline for months, haven't made videos for, you know, that whole time. And I also understand if your opinion of me has potentially changed over the last few months. You know, I spent the first half of my career criticizing people and judging people online. So, you know, I don't begrudge your judgment of me by any means.
Well, that's really thoughtful of you, Cody. Thanks. It's not like you got a bad haircut and people are like, have you seen Cody? Cody looks so fucking stupid. You had sex with a woman who was not a woman when you had sex with her. You know what I'm saying? She was still underage. Thank you so much for permitting us to feel what we feel, though. Because that was the part everybody was worried about. I do understand that he is operating from a place of like, damned if he does and damned if he doesn't. Because whether or not he comes out at this point and says like, yes, listen, I had this, you know, I had this sexual relationship with Tana when she was underage, and that's disgusting, and I regret it, and I feel like shit about it, and I've apologized. Like, even if Cody did everything right in this scenario, he did something incredibly wrong in the situation his feet are being held to the fire for. So yes, to some extent, he is damned if he does and he's damned if he doesn't. But like, you should do, not doesn't. You know what I'm saying? Does that make sense? It doesn't, but hopefully you get it.
I just think all I can do right now and moving forward is just try to be the best person I can be for myself and for my family. And
oh God, this old song and dance. I'm just gonna be the best person that I can be. Yeah, cool, but could that also come with acknowledgement and apology for the transgressions at hand? You need to dig deep and say the words with your mouth, like a fucking adult.
Just try to continue putting the best shit out there that I can. So that's what I'm gonna do. And if you stick around to watch it, I very much appreciate it from the bottom of my heart, truly. And so that's the plan. 3:30 marathon in March, hopefully, and you're gonna see the process. So I will see you soon, and choo choo.
That's it. That's the whole thing. That's his acknowledgement and apology. 1 minute and 11 seconds edited down. Great. Wonderful. I give it a who cares out of 10 because nobody does. You know, we're all just walking around this fucking place doing whatever the hell we want to whomever the hell we want, no matter how it makes them feel or how it affects them personally, and just not giving a fuck. Not giving a fuck. Could he have reached out to Tana privately and apologized? Sure. I bet he didn't, because I feel like that would be a big ol' slab of tea out of Tana's mouth. I'm flabbergasted by just an absolute inability to take any sort of accountability truly for one's behavior, you know? And it's wild because nobody cares anymore. I mean, people care, but not enough for it to hold out long term. Like the fact that James Charles still has a career and he was caught and admitted to sexting teenagers and he's just out making makeup and millions of dollars. Cool. Because who gives a fuck, right? Who cares? Because it doesn't matter. Wow. I wish I had a bright spot to this, but I don't. I don't know, man. What do you think about the Cody Co thing? What do you think about this? Because this is wild to me. It's wild to me how little people care, how little integrity people have, and how valuable I personally think making amends is, even if it doesn't yield the results that you were hoping for, to just be upfront and to be honest and to be fully vulnerable and sorry for your behavior. It's just, it would go so far. And I just don't understand this shit. But great news is he's running some kind of marathon. So I guess that's how you run away from your problems. Just literally run away from your problems. Okay, I'm out of here. You guys have a good one. Let me know what you think below. Make sure to subscribe, like the video, and all that nonsense. And then go f yourself. All right, bye. It's winter break, so none of the days have names anymore. Oh my god. I should have some caffeine today. I have not had any. I made myself a cup of coffee and I didn't drink even a sip. It seems like it. Why can I not come up with words today? And that's that.